Welcome to Savita Anusri lecture cast in anatomy. Today's topic is going to be the nose and the nasal septum. The nose performs two major functions. It forms part of the respiratory passage and is also the organ of smell. For descriptive purposes, the nose is divided into two parts, the external nose and the nasal cavity. The external nose is the only visible part in the respiratory system. It has got a free tip, it has got an attached part to the forehead by the root or the bridge. It has got two openings the below called as the anterior nares or nostrils, which leads into the nasal cavity, and each nostril is bounded laterally by the aisle of the nose and medially by the nasal septum. The framework of the nose is osteocartilaginous. The bony framework is formed by the nasal bones, the frontal process of the maxilla, the nasal part of the frontal bone. The cartilaginous part is contributed by the upper and lower nasal cartilages and the septal cartilage. Moving on to the nasal cavity extends from the anterior nares to the posterior nasal aperture. It is divided into the right and left halves by the nasal septums. Each half has a roof, floor, septum or the medial wall and the lateral wall, and it measures about 5 centimeters in height, 5 to 7 centimeters in length and 1.5 centimeters in width near the floor and 1 to 2 millimeters in width near the roof. Moving on to the roof is around 7 centimeters long and 2 millimeters wide. It slopes downwards both in front and behind. It's mainly formed by the following bones from behind to forward: the body of the sphenoid, the cribriform plate of the ethmoid bone, the frontal bone, the nasal bone, and cartilage. Moving on to the floor of the nasal cavity. The floor of the nasal cavity is separated from the oral cavity by the hard palate. It is formed by the palatine process of the maxilla and the horizontal plate of palatine bone. It measures around 5 centimeters long and 1.5 centimeters in width. Moving on to the medial wall of the nasal septum, it is osteocartilaginous partition which is covered by mucoperiosteum, which separates the nasal cavity into the right and the left half. Its contribution for forming the nasal septum or by the perpendicular plate of the ethmoid bone superiorly, behind by the vomer bone, and anteriorly by the septal cartilage and the inferior nasal cartilages. Other contributing bones for the nasal septum or the nasal spine of the frontal bone, the rostrum of the sphenoid, and nasal crest of the nasal, palatine, and the maxillary bone. The cuticular part is the lower end, which is covered as a fibrofatty tissue covered by the skin. The lower margin of the septum is called as the columella. The septum has got 4 borders and 2 surfaces. The borders of the superior, inferior, anterior and posterior borders, the surfaces of the right and the left surfaces. Moving on to the blood supply of the nasal septum, the arteries supplying the nasal septum or anterior superiorly by the anterior ethmoidal artery, anterior inferiorly by the superior labial branches of facial and the greater palatine artery, posterior superiorly by the posterior ethmoidal artery, and posterior inferiorly by the sphenopalatine artery. In the anterior inferior part of the septum, we have the causal plexus. This is otherwise called as the little area, as the septal branches of the superior labial branch of the facial artery, branch from the sphenopalatine artery, greater palatine artery, and the anterior ethmoidal artery anastomose here. This is the common site of bleeding or epistaxis. Moving on to the venous drainage, the anterior part of the septum is drained into the facial vein, whereas the posterior part is drained by the sphenopalatine vein and ultimately into the pterygoid venous plexus. The lymphatic drainage, the anterior portions, lymphatics drain into the submandibular group of lymph nodes, whereas the posterior portion drains to the retropharyngeal group of lymph nodes. The nerve supply of the septum again can be divided into 4 quadrants. The anterior superior part is sensory innervation is carried by the internasal branch of the anterior ethmoidal nerve. The anterior inferior part, anterior superior alveolar nerve carries the sensation From the posterior superior part, the medial posterior superior nasal branch of the pterygopalatine ganglion, and from the posterior inferior part, the nasopalatine branch of the pterygopalatine ganglion carries the sensation. Apart from this, near the roof, the olfactory mucosa is present, which is very important for olfaction. The first cranial nerve, olfactory nerves, starts from this region. Moving on to the applied anatomy, the Little's area, as previously discussed, is a common site of bleeding, and pathological deviation of the septum is always responsible for common cold or rhinitis, and deviation septums may require surgical corrections. Thank you.